I don't.
Welcome everybody
I don't.
to episode 2 of ATV. What are we gonna call it? We don't know yet. Chet, you were talking about sponsorships. Let's go.
I don't. Sponsorships. It sounds like a dirty word. I don't have a sponsor. I don't have a pitch. I don't have anything to sell. What I do have is hope. What I do have is optimism. I have salvation to your problems. In this day and age, solar has been it's kind of become a dirty word. But you know what? PG&E, as I like to refer to as punks, goofballs, and extremists.
Yeah,
they're kind of like a bag of hot Cheetos. Yes, which is a horrible example because I love nothing more than hot Cheetos. But they're like a bag of hot Cheetos, and solar is like a carrot. I mean, what better to fuel your entertainment, your refrigerator, your blow dryer than the sun, than nature, than something natural, right? So I don't have a sponsor today. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not trying to pitch you, but you know what? PG&E is ripping you off. And the rate is raising a few times a year between 22%, 32% annually. I can lock you in right now at no higher than a 3.59% raise year over year. I can cut your bill in half. I can provide you with panels. I can provide you with batteries. Send me a DM. I can get you on solar and out of the clutch and the grasp of PG and E. I mean,
I hate those people.
You know what I don't understand?
Pedophiles, gang rapists, and egalitarians. That's what I know them as. You know,
you know what? I can put up with pedophiles. I can put up with gang. But egalitarian.
Yeah, that's egalitarian. That's where I draw the line. There's no place in a civilized society. Yeah.
We're gonna do this for 60 minutes for that one moment. That was all I needed tonight.
Okay, wait. So we got here. We don't know who the sponsor is. Who is this solar company?
I know the sponsor.
Sun Home.
I know the sponsor.
Okay. Shout out to Sun Home for sponsoring episode 2 of ATV season 5.
I will say this. Oh, go ahead.
What's the discount they can get? What's the code? Like, where do they go? Is it in the show notes? Check the show notes, everyone. Link in the show notes. Yeah.
I'll just say this one quick thing. I think it's strange how everybody hates PG&E. Everybody hates PG&E. Mm-hmm. But then I knock on your door and you hate me. I don't get it. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to take you out of the clutch. I just realized your AirPods are going to destroy the show again.
Well,
I just
why?
realized. Did you not realize?
Okay. No, you want to know what happened last time? This is exactly what happened. Wait, didn't I have these on last time? This is what destroyed the show.
No, you had the white ones on.
Okay, well, let me say this.
I think it's not hardwired.
When I exported it that your audio never clips my audio, and my audio never clips your audio. I did that setting on Riverside. Now I'm going to say, hey, gang, whoever's talking, if the other guy's talking, let the audio bleed. That's my fault.
I noticed last time, even as we were recording, it was doing that, and I'm not noticing that this time, so I think it's all good now.
Good. Okay, well, shout out. So we have listeners in Turkey and in France. What if they want solar? Like, what are they supposed to do? Well, let's think about those people in Kentucky. Can you help people outside of California if they need solar, or no?
I will pray for them.
I will too.
Yeah, that's the best I could do.
Cool.
Which is solid. That's solid.
That is solid. That's better than getting solar, because on one you're getting the help from the sun, the other side you're getting help from the son of Deus, the Son of God.
Although there's no commission, but yes.
Oh yeah.
The Great Commission.
The Great Commission. There is commission. Oh, okay. There is. Oh, okay. We are that company. The souls are the let's
It's gonna be spelled Soular. So
whoa.
yeah.
So actually, okay. In confirmation, one of my groups they named themselves Soul Team 6, and then they created this. They created this tagline. What is it? It's Soul Team 6 beating Osama Bin Laden.
Oh my gosh, that's good. That makes me want to be Catholic.
That's it. Thank you. And those were the high schoolers that came up with that.
That's pretty funny. That's good.
They're good. All right, Chance. So you know what? I think we got a new segment. Instead of we read it, it's we watch it. So we watch it. We're watching. We're not watching anything. Well, actually, okay. You know what? I made it sound like I got all these things I'm about to pull up.
Oh man,
I have nothing. That I'm about to pull up. But I think we got to react to current events. What are some current events that are going on right now that we need to react to? AI. We need to react to AI. We need to react to these tariffs. What else do we need to react to? What just happened in the? Let's just get your reaction to AI, Chen.
I don't really pay attention to current events
What
anymore.
just happened?
Always so. Did something big happen?
Remember we came up with that image, and now ChatGPT is really good at images.
Yeah.
And while it was generating that image, you were like, "They're better than we are."
So I'm gonna okay.
Say it.
Man. Okay, I got nothing to lose, I guess. So sometimes I say stuff half joking, and other time, and I'll also believe there may be an element of truth to it, because why not? Let someone prove otherwise.
Yeah.
I have heard people say that AI and the way it's, with the quickness and able to do what it does and the way that it does it, I've heard people say something along the lines that it's like demons or some kind of intelligence.
Okay.
And I don't know quite how I would articulate it yet, but when we witness stuff like we did the other day, and like when we were going back and forth and you just typed in what you did, and the change that I heard in what you sent me, I was like, I don't know if you've ever read oh shoot, what's it called? What's that book by C.S. Lewis about Satan? It's these demons.
Letters.
I don't know if you've ever read Screw Tape Letters, but it's like
No.
it kind of made me visualize like all these demons, like, hey, yeah, say this, and that's a good idea, and that's a good one, and it's just like there's no way. And I know, like, we hear things and we're like, okay, 2 + 2 is 4. Okay, I believe that. And then Christopher Columbus came and he did this. Okay, that's cool. And the earth is round. Okay, I believe you. And all this stuff. And then it's like, oh, AI can do this now. Oh, okay. But it's like, no. There's no way. And look, I think I've said this to you before, and I say this to people. When it comes to the earth and the shape of the earth, I always say this. I say the same thing lately. I keep it real basic. I tell people, when the educational system and the government and whoever else goes so crazy hard on something, that's when it's time to go, hold up. They go so crazy hard on that. It's like, why? They don't go crazy super hard on other things like I don't even have a good example. But the fact that they're so crazy about that is like, why? Why are you guys so paranoid about that? Anyway,
you know what I think about this? I think it's and I think this is the way I feel about it. I feel like people's pattern recognition is a superpower and it is a weakness at times. Because there has been a lot of things that have happened where people have been suspicious of the government and they ended up being proven right. And that ends up being a weakness when they're wrong on this side because they see all the same patterns and they don't have that thing that says, okay, then we were right over here, and now we're right over here. What they point to is the patterns. So I'll say this: I feel like those patterns are there. Like if the government is lying to us about something, well, now we're seeing all the same patterns. They bring out these people that are like the face of it now, and we got to trust them. So I see that, but I feel like there are reasons for thinking, the Earth is round, and I feel like there's many reasons for thinking that, and then some that you and I can even see with our eyes. Like, if you've ever like put on those shades where you can actually look at the sun and it's literally like a ball in the sky.
Well, the first time I ever went to Disneyland. So there's two things. The first time I ever went to Disneyland, I'm sure you've been to Disneyland more than me, and you've seen the light show that they do at night.
The light show.
They do this. They did
like
this.
Fireworks?
It was like, yes, it was like a whole show,
yeah.
It was like an animated show with fireworks.
Oh,
there was
I've seen that.
And then another thing that was over, and we were just hanging out, and it was nighttime, and there was like, I can't remember what they were, but they were like these projections, and I can't remember if they were like stars or like Mickey Mouse shaped moons or whatever they were, but they looked ridiculously real. And I remember the moment where I was like, I think it was something weird. Like we were in this area and it wasn't even nighttime, but it looked like, I can't remember what it was, but it was like trippy. And I think about that now. There's so many moving parts. Like when you think about NASA and the fact that it was basically spearheaded and originated from Nazis, NASA, NAZ. I don't know. It's not NASA was basically formed and created and given its boost by the Nazis, the people that wanted to take over the earth. And I think it's not that crazy that these Nazis would want us to believe certain things and see certain things out there to take our focus off of Antarctica where the real base is. Have you ever heard of Admiral Byrd?
Wait, I've heard the name. What was the story with him?
They don't want you to know the story. You would have known. You know what story you do know? You know Columbus.
Before we move to Admiral Byrd, I want to say this because I feel like I'm seeing the same pattern again. Because at Disneyland, you're basically saying, look, I saw something that looks like a simulation of this real thing, and now I'm questioning this real thing. But for me, I'm like, isn't that cool that humans have the divine spark in them that allows them to get close to the real thing with simulations? And I'm like, we're using the fact that we can get close to the real things to simulations to say that's not real, that's a simulation. Now, then why not push it to the whole thing? And we're in a simulation, and this whole thing is a simulation.
Oh, we are.
Well, but think about this. I agree with you in the sense that heaven is the real reality, and we're in this like a fake reality down here. Not that these things are fake. It's that these things are deeper than we know. So in that sense, we're in a reality. But if you're saying, hey, those people at Disneyland made the things that look like planets and stuff up in the sky. Now, I don't think there's planets and stuff up in the sky. Why isn't it just aliens in the background that we're in their simulation machine? What's your guard against that?
You mean as opposed to like a heaven?
Yeah, because you're saying, hey, these guys simulated things that look real. And I'm like, okay, then that means a more advanced race can simulate everything, so all this is real. So,
well, I mean, it sounds weird for me to say because I would never want to verbalize it like that, but I would see like God and like that whole thing, angels or whatever, as that. How did you just say it? That higher race or whatever. How'd you say it?
Just like a more advanced. Yeah,
that's how they're the more advanced. That is kind of.
Okay.
The Watchers and.
Oh, now we're getting it. Let's talk about the Book of Enoch then. Okay, so we've learned about that recently. Okay, so sorry. Let's go Admiral Byrd. You were talking Admiral Byrd. Go ahead.
I mean, I say too much. This video it gets taken down.
No. See, we got to start ATV episode 2 with the real stuff, so we know by episode 19 that's where we're gonna drop the real facts, the real forbidden knowledge.
So, okay, I'll try to say as much as I can remember, and I'll try to keep it concise. There was this guy named Admiral Byrd, and he was like the most respected pilot guy. Never had any kind of drama, controversy, nothing. Straight edge guy. Everyone respected him, loved him. And the craziest part is he wrote all this stuff down and never tried to publish a book, never tried to put it out in the news. He died never speaking about it, and his son found these diaries. So he wasn't even trying to get famous or anything. So it goes into how, I can't remember what it was. I think it was something during or after World War II. I'm not sure. But he was flying like around, or I think it was Operation Paperclip or something. He was going through Antarctica, and his plane got like taken over. And it kind of took him to like the center. It took him through this section of Antarctica that was like untouched. He was seeing like mammoths and like things that are supposed to be extinct, and it was getting warmer, and he could see greenery everywhere. And these beings were like telling him, "Hey, you got to tell these people stop doing this, stop doing that, stop with the war, stop trying to kill each other, don't do this." And it had something. There was like a lot of other overlapping stuff, like the peace, like everyone. All these different countries that hate each other, want to have nothing to do with each other. They want to kill each other, but they all have this one treaty: don't go to Antarctica, stay out. And now they're all best friends on that one thing.
Okay, well, let me push back then a little bit, because that treaty doesn't say go to Antarctica. That treaty says that Antarctica is open to everyone. And let me ask you, and let me tell you this: have you seen the videos of the flat Earth deniers? That actually, like, people will take them up on the challenge. They'll say, if you don't think we can go there, how about this? I'll take you in my plane. We'll take off from wherever you want, and we'll go from there to Antarctica, and we'll sit and we'll look, we'll walk on it, we'll fly around, whatever you want, just to see, like, is this, can you actually get there, etc. Does the sun, can you see the sun? Are the constellations different? So they're like, I want to get it all out of the way. If I take you, will you say yes? So people have done that. So rich people have taken the flat earthers there, and they've like kind of changed their mind. They're like, okay, so
it's scripted. Yeah. You're watching a sketch. You're saying you saw that on YouTube? I need to look that up.
That's on YouTube. And have you ever seen the ones where they do like the experiments?
They're probably in Alaska. Like, what if they're all in on it and they're just trying to trick us?
That's why it's like, choose where you take off from and stuff. But like, okay, let me ask you this: have you seen like the lake experiments where they're like on opposite sides of lakes, and then they'll put the flashlights through a hole to see if they can see them? Have you seen those?
I believe I think you told me about them a long time ago.
Maybe it's because those are also online and on YouTube. And the cool thing about those is it was the whole like flat Earth community going and like trying to see if we can how can we prove this or disprove this with experiments. And a lot of these experiments come back and kind of show the round Earth model. Go ahead.
What I always think is very weird about that is how absolutely literal people are. Like, okay, I go back and forth a little, and I joke. I'm not going to, like, I'll talk about this with my kids too, and I'll leave an opening, and I'll admit gray area, and I'll say, you know what, I'm not saying this is 100% black and white. I'll just give my opinion. I actually currently do not believe the Earth is round. I legitimately do not. But I think it's wild when people think that I think it's like flat. Like it could be mountainous, it could have curves. Like, why in the world would it be like a pancake? Like, I don't think that. So when people do certain tests and I'm like, well, yeah, just like look at the R mountain or whatever. Like, there's hills, there's valleys, nothing's perfect. I can understand curvature or whatever. Just like I'm not 100%, like maybe the Earth is flat, but it's still round. Maybe it's, if you look at it flat, it looks like a tortilla. It doesn't have to have corners. Maybe it does have corners. Maybe there's that weird section underneath. Maybe it's somewhat dome-like, but flat on the bottom. I don't know. But I think it's weird when people are like, I do know. So that's why I'm kind of like agnostic about it, where I'm like, it's weird that all these educators and scientists are like, you have to believe this, and I'm like, that seems like it's part of something bigger. They're going
See,
so hard on it.
that's where I am like, you're using your pattern recognition to say all these people are fighting back must be the opposite. Now, you're saying you're agnostic, so you're acknowledging, well, that doesn't actually mean that that's the case, but that's how it's seen.
Oh yeah, it's suspicious.
Yeah, it's suspicious.
And
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of the stuff that is perpetuated through that, maybe not all of it, and I know there's a lot of Christian scientists, and that's where a lot of them are like Catholic and stuff, but a lot of it is very anti-God, and it's like, of course, that's why things are so.
Well, let me show you why. I think the flat Earth is anti-God, and this is why. Because when you kind of get down to it, and I've seen like a lot of these guys talk for like an hour. I've seen a lot of flat Earth YouTube. Like, I just binged it for weeks. And like when you kind of get down to it, a lot of these guys are like, look, I understand that there's something kind of beyond me, and when I look at like this flat Earth model and like the sun being so close and the moon being so close and all of this being some kind of system that could be made by something that's real close and stuff, he's like, it kind of kills the idea of atheism because it makes everything this little clock that I can see and I can see the mechanisms of and everything like that. And like, it's not this super vastness out there, never ending, blah, blah, blah. He's like, does away with that garbage. It's like, no, this is a machine that was made. Like, look at it. Like, and so I'm like, no, but what you're doing is you're killing the idea of a God that way because you're saying, I need my world to be so small that it could have been constructed by something bigger than me. We're still in the space of aliens. Only an omnipotent being can explain a vastness that seems infinite. That's the route that points towards God, not this small world that is this flat world with two balls in the sky, just to keep light around, So, like, that's how I see it.
I don't like how logical that sounds.
Well, you know what? And when I was younger in high school, like I used to, you know this. I used to watch all those like theist debates and stuff like that. And one question they would throw the theist way, like they'd be like, we're so small in this like vastness of this never-ending space. But then I was like, wait, and this was recently. I was like sitting down to myself. Wait, I was like, wait, if I was God, what kind of world would I want to put the creatures that I love in? Would I want them to have this space that is basically fenced off and they can't go beyond? Or would I want it to seem seemingly infinite, both for them to understand my vastness in a physical way, but also for them to just be able to like bask in the glory? Because we look at like everybody loves space, like everybody loves stars and like these cool constellations. Like we don't understand them. They're just like these really cool things, and they're just beautiful. It's like looking at a mountain or waves. It's beautiful. And I was like, whoa. I was like, if I was given two choices, one, a small world where it's confined, they can see the edges, or a seeming vastness, I'm like, no, that second one's just way cooler. And I'm like, now it makes sense. And I've been reading recently about like how the medievals were changing the way they thought from like the old like Greeks and stuff. And this is the really cool thing. They're like, the Greeks saw a world that was confined basically, and like, the gods are like out there, but it's all part of this like physical space. And it wasn't till like, you get in medieval times and Christendom really became like the major worldview. They started to see two different things that were connected. They saw a world that goes beyond the furthest stars, that was outside of this physical space. They're like, no, God's outside of everything. And it's an immaterial space. But also, even though he's further beyond anything we can see, he's more interior to ourselves than we can see. And so this world is now, so like the Christian world now makes the world bigger and more intimate than, any kind of worldview that came before it. I'll let you react to that.
I think this is still related. I have also thought about this. Isn't it at least possible that we could live on a non-round Earth and still see and experience that vastness. Because I've thought, what if we somehow, little by little, started to get the tools and telescopes and whatever, and we saw roundish things out there? There's one. Oh, we must be round too. But I just don't think it's necessary for us to live on this round thing to be able to experience and appreciate what's out there, and maybe those things look round or whatever. And again, then it might sound dumb, like, why are you so against it being round? But just to throw it out there, I don't think it needs to be in order to see and appreciate and believe that that's out there.
Well, I'm not saying it needs to be round in order for this vast world to exist. I'm just saying whenever I hear a lot of the flat earthers talk, one of their main things is like, no, this is more of a theist view where we see the round earth here. There's basically this blanket that looks like stars and these two little lamps. And that makes this world a machine, and I know who made the machine. You know, it's like they want it to be like this like simple packaged kind of thing that they can understand. And they almost want to do what they accuse the scientists of doing. Like, no, I want it all to be crammed in a world that I can understand, and then that makes me happy. And then the scientists are like, no, like, look at gravity and how it works with like these spheres, and like when masses are in space and there's no up or down, that's why you have the globe, because it's not a cube, it's not sitting on anything, it's the gravity is all pushing to them. And like, so both sides are saying like, no, it's got to be a way that I can understand it, and this is how I can understand it. No.
So we're still fighting over circumcision.
In a way, yes. In a way, as it always comes back to the circumcision of
Holiness.
Abraham, or the circumcision of Christ. And yeah. Well, that's all for today's episode, folks. Oh, well, we went right to the depth of things, and so I think the people are satisfied. The rest of the episode could be no good.
I do think it's very weird that no one ever talks about how NASA was basically founded and spearheaded by Nazis.
Well,
everyone's just okay with that.
No, a lot of people think about that, and like that's the real Operation Paperclip, and that's one of the things people levy against them. Like, should we have used these people? I think von Braun was like the main guy that we brought over and headed the rocket thing, and you know what's funny is like these guys were scientists, and they're working in Germany, and a lot of people are like, did they actually want to be with the Nazis? Because you could have been a scientist in Germany and be forced conscripted into doing military work. Because like
people can say that about anything.
No, that's true. That's true. I'm not trying to defend them. I'm just saying, like, that's one thing people say. I'm not saying
Charles Manson was a beautiful singer, but the government gave him the, what's it called?
Remember, we found his album and played his first song, and we were like, wait.
You know that sound you've been looking for? He had the voice of well, I wanted to say an angel, but that might sound a little too far. But it was beautiful. I was watching his documentary the other day, and it came on again, and he had like that beautiful, pure voice. And it's like the government gave him that MK Ultra thing and made him had someone else kill the people. And it's like, well, yeah, that's what you're like the Nazis, like, oh, let him go because Hitler peer pressured him. Let Charles Manson go because the government MK Ultra'd him. It's like.
So we're going to write the script about how Manson's music was going to bring everlasting peace.
Yeah, why didn't Tarantino shine a light on that?
I mean, that's a good question. We asked the real questions here at ATV.
Imagine how many people the Beatles would have killed if they didn't make it. 4 of them.
Mass genocide. Yeah. Mass genocide.
Oh. You say you want a genocide. Okay.
By the way, this is crazy. I heard Tim, one of the guys from Sycamore Studios, talking on another podcast how he was doing a documentary with Paul McCartney, and he was like, "Yeah," and he would just like text me these new ideas that he was having, and blah blah blah. And all. It's like, dang, this guy was texting the Beatle. Um, by the way, and that's around the time we were trying to sell MMA and stuff. And remember, I was telling you the story about Tim. He said that he was at Netflix. And he was literally doing a film with Paul McCartney, and they canned the film.
Oh yeah.
They canned the film because they had another executive come in who like changed their whole slate and stuff like that.
I think that's when you were trying to make me feel better. Like, look, even a Beatle can't make a film.
And Tim is a Oscar-nominated director working with this Beatle, and look at what they. And I did try to make you feel better, but you were like, "Man, not even a Beatle can get things made. What am I supposed to do?" Dang. Chen. All right. We've spoken on AI. That's our AI segment. Now we move to Trump's tariffs.
I'm confused because I don't watch the news. It's like everyone was happy about Trump. Everyone loved it. Everyone's like, cool. Everything's gonna get back to being great again, and so on and so on. And then it seems like even the people on his side now are like, "What are you doing? Is that what's happening?"
That's what's happening. Yeah.
So okay. So it started off like, cool. He's a guy that stands up for us, and boo to other countries. And now they're like, ooh, like this one might backfire. Like, because financially, is that what's happening?
And now everyone's happy because everything's looking up. Again on the stock market. Now they paused all the tariffs, and they're only tariffing. They only have tariffs on China now, which is kind of what everybody wanted. They were like, let's bring everything back to zero and only attack these guys that are the real bad guys. And then, well, shit. Let's be real. Let's be real. They are. It's mostly they're saying, like the government and the way that it operates, like it only wants America to buy stuff from them, and they don't buy anything from America. On purpose. Like that's kind of the way that they say. They call it a mercantilist system, where it only sells, doesn't buy, so it makes it. Anywho, this is boring stuff. So I think we said our piece about.
I was a little bit excited about it because I sell cars. And I got to sell a couple cars with some nice markups because of the tariffs. And like, hey, there's, times are tough. You're going to have to pay more for this car. And now I probably can't, unless I'm like, this one came from China.
That's good.
But I don't lie. So I don't lie.
What's new in recent news, current events that we could speak on?
Shoot.
Do you not keep up with anything?
I literally live and breathe my job, and then I commute and I'm listening to like comedy podcasts, and then I binge eat when I get home to cure my depression, and then I go to sleep. And then I do the same thing the next day. I don't even like turn on the TV or
so no room for the Bible.
I will say this. Do you remember, you remember how things were about a year and a half ago and what I was pursuing and all that. The car industry is like one of the worst possible things that a human creature can get into. It's been so bad for my well-being, for my mental state, for everything. It's so all-consuming and just asks everything of you and will just chew you up and spit you out. Like it has not allowed me to be the person that I like to be. And it has absolutely, it's so, like today at work, there was this meeting that we had with all these new expectations and stuff like that. And I swear it feels like I'm on an episode of, what's that Asian show where they kill you if you don't win the game?
That's Squid Game.
It feels like I'm in Squid Games. And I'm always like, I've had a stupid amount of jobs for my age. You see, like every year I have a different kind of.
Well, you and I have had many
We've
jobs
both been
together.
like that, yeah. ADD jobs, yeah. So I've been in so many different positions, different industries. I've never experienced anything like the car industry. They treat everything like so life or death. Like if everything is the most unbelievably it's stupid cars.
Let me ask you this, Chant. Do you think the good Lord will accept this excuse?
No.
Got him.
No.
You know what's funny is, don't worry about it, Chet.
I've been living for mammon.
We're all working on this, right? We're all trying to figure this out day in, day out. All y'all do look. Here's something easy. Get the audio Bible, guys. If you go to YouTube and type in Gospel of John, they literally have it for free as an audio book that you can just.
I've done that quite a bit, but I can't stand these voices sometimes. And then he said, so I'm trying to find a good one, but I don't really like doing that while I'm driving, because I'm like, man, how stupid would that be if like I died while I was trying to listen to John or something like that? Like, just
that might be the best way to go. Like inversely, oh, like God, I was trying to tune in. I mean, now I got the front row seat. But I mean, that literally might be the best.
So it's like, and then John said, and then I actually see him saying it.
Oh, and then I saw the Ancient of Days. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I try to feed, that way, and I'll condemn myself as well. Like I'll be like, this isn't right. I shouldn't be just doing it piecemeal on the way to work. I should be intentionally setting this. So then I don't do it at all, of course. And then I realize later that was stupid.
Okay, let me throw this concept your way, because I really like this. And like for me, Chen, I got that ADHD mind, and so something that I found for me is like I'll actually put prayers on audio as well to pray with and stuff like that. Now, we'll get into this too much, but like for me, that's easy because.
Are you talking about the ones like this?
Yeah. Well, no, they're not annoying, but it makes it easy. It makes it easy, and like for me, I'm like, even though I'm doing the bad version, I'm like, I think if I just keep doing the bad version, it's almost like if you show up to a drawing class, like you're gonna not be good until you keep doing it over and over and over and over, and you start getting into the flow. And I'm like, at least if I do this for 15 minutes, it's like going to be the worst version of it, but I'm like now making it part of my day. Even if I'm not good at it, I'm like, and that's the hard part. And like, I've also heard like, the devil will say things like, I really like what this one priest was saying about how like the devil will get in your head and be like, oh, look at that person not reading the Bible. Like, come on. Like, let's go. You really got something better to do? Almost like I was doing to you right now before. But they're like, he'll really do that to you. Because like once, see, because he's like, he's the devil's smarter than all of us. So like once you make the flip to be like, oh, I'm gonna be on God's side. He's like, really? How on God's side are you gonna be? Are you gonna be given an hour of your day? How many meals are you gonna have? Are you gonna fast like him? Can you? Why not eat for the next week? And so I was like, oh man, this is.
It's like, well, I can't do that. I can't give that much. I might as well not even do it, because then I feel like a hypocrite. Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that's like, to me, that's amazing. Like that even happens that
constantly.
Cool. Yeah.
Now, and I'm only doing it just because I feel like I should do it, and it's better if I don't do it, so I'm not a hypocrite, and I don't want to be lukewarm, and then I don't do it for 3 months.
Yeah, exactly. And then he won.
And then I start getting slack, and it's like, well.
Oh my gosh! Like VJ's favorite line is in his joke, he's beating a woman and say, "Look what you made me do."
I like I like how he's just like indefensively being portrayed.
He's not here to defend himself. Oh, well, you know what? I'll say something about you. You're here to defend yourself. I remember after Chris Brown and Rihanna incident happened.
Oh,
You
no.
were Vincent, when he found out that Chris Brown beat Rihanna. His first thought was like, "I wonder what she did."
Wait. Are you? Did I say that?
You told me that. You told me that. Yeah.
Okay, because I thought that, but I didn't know if I actually said it out loud. But isn't that normal? Isn't that like okay? I'm gonna be honest with you.
All right.
Oh shoot!
Whoa! Let's go.
Oh my gosh! I don't know if I should say this.
The people want to know. See, now we got it. This is the intro. Now this is the hook.
I saw the other day. Oh my gosh! I saw the other day on Instagram. There was this guy that did a murder-suicide with his wife. And I was like, oh man, that's unfortunate. And then they showed a picture of the wife, and I went, ah. And I was like, oh shoot. Because you can try the soapbox all you want and virtue signal and act like a great person. When I saw the photo of the girl, I was like, she cheated on him. Like you could tell certain like this. There's this certain aura, the way they smile, the way the way they. You could go, oh, you're sexist. We do it for us, not for you. Oh, shut up! Like nobody's that stupid. It's oh my gosh! And if you dare argue with that, it just gets worse and worse. But I saw the photo and I was like, oh, she cheated on him. And then there was a moment where I was like, but. Because it's like that just came out of me. I didn't have to stop and think that. It just came out and then I caught it and I was like, ooh. But don't we do that? Like when you hear something like that, if you hear, see, you know what it is? It's sexist of women to think that I'm sexist for doing that. Because if you hear two guys were at Target and one of them punched the other guy, you're gonna say, why? What happened?
No, I'm gonna say, did he have a history of violence? Did that other friend that got punched know the history and his triggers?
Oh.
Man. Okay, that's good. Oh, that's good.
What?
Okay, wait. You know what would be a good video?
What the?
Is if we got you to really, really, really act like this beta type on Instagram, get a lot of views, and get you on Peterson's show to troll him, that would be amazing.
Oh my god.
Okay, all right. Let's get back to the matter at hand.
Amazing.
Yes, you would ask. Okay, what did said friend do to deserve getting punched?
Yes, but when it's a woman, they're like, "Oh, you monster!" That is the sexist part. That's the double standard part. But they have us so brainwashed, and everything is so like. It's just like when when a guy and his girlfriend are in an argument, and the girl gets real loud, and she's like, "That means I'm right," and now everyone's gonna look at the guy like he's a jerk. It's like that's not fair because she's loud. That doesn't.
Well, I also part of it is like, well, he shouldn't have hit the woman anyways. Like, no matter what she did, because I feel like you are that type of person who would never do that.
It sounded like you were gonna say something else.
No. I'm just saying you're that type of person who would never do that. So I think when you hear it, you're like, something must have provoked that. Because if I was gonna get to that place, it would have to be something crazy.
Okay.
But not everybody is like that. Some people have like these simple tricks. She should have said something that was not even that big of a deal, and he went there. That's kind of where I think about it.
Didn't she cheat on him though? Or she was doing something or sending photos or something.
Oh,
there was something. Wait, there was something like that.
Look it up. Look it up. Actually, forget current events. We're only going to cover 10-year-old news articles.
I thought you were gonna say 10-year-olds. I was like, what the?
Chet, stop it. We're not demonetized because of you.
Why did Chris Brown hit Rihanna? What did she do? What did?
Actually, let me ask ChatGPT. So give me a short answer.
Look at how biased Google is. They don't want to tell us what she did. They're making it all about him.
What did Rihanna do to get punched by Chris Brown?
Why did she deserve it?
Give me a sentence answer. I want to hear his side.
Oh no! Brown also said the relationship had deteriorated after he admitted to infidelity with the former employee.
You see what I mean? This is what I'm saying. Okay, this is why I said it, because I'm like, in order for it.
But what did she do to make him cheat? Oh!
Okay. That might be okay. That you may have something there. Okay.
I don't want to hurt him anymore. She was like, I mean, it was read between the lines.
Okay. Whoa. Now, Chet, that is actually how it always happens. Actually, okay, you want to know the truth? I recently heard that this is a true story. There's someone who I know. They're not like a good friend, but someone I know.
It's you. We all know it's you, but go on.
Okay. There's a girl who's got an OnlyFans, and men know that this girl puts photos of herself, and they know she's got a certain type of activities, sugar daddy, that kind of stuff, right? So this girl, she recently went on a trip with.
You're saying you know her?
I don't. I have met her.
Okay.
It was a paid meet and greet.
It was a.
Stop it! It's not that. I'll tell you how I know. It's basically it's a friend of a friend, and I've met this person, and I hear everything that happens from the friend. So, this woman went on this weekend with this married dude, and she knew the dude was married. And they did whatever they did, the hotel. And immediately after they do whatever they do, the guy gets angry with her, starts calling her a slut and this and that. How could she? And obviously, he's projecting, right? He's obviously does all the stuff he feels about himself. How could you do this? What kind of person are you getting with a married person? Blah, blah, blah. But he's obviously trying to fight himself. That's what I think Chris Brown is doing. He's angry at himself, and he's taking every ounce of that on this woman, See, and Chet hates how much sense that makes.
So this woman abused this poor man's weakness because his wife is emotionally unavailable.
Okay, I don't want to talk about the news article I just saw before this, but it could. We're gonna get demonetized.
It's about women being emotionally unavailable and driving their men toward infidelity.
No. Okay, I'll bring it up. It's about a high school teacher who was a woman who was sent to jail for stuff. And it turns out in the courtroom, she talks about how the husband never showed her affection, blah, blah, blah.
And we had Miss Hardcastle.
Jack, stop! Oh, you're the worst. You are the worst, Kit. You are the worst. You know what's funny? Under every single video of that, you know what the comments are going to be. It's always the same thing. It's always 500 variations of the same thing.
Jeez.
Where were these?
And then Senorita Perez sending me to RC every day. What the heck? Can't catch a break.
Oh my gosh. Oh. It's a wild world.
Only one that would show me any attention was Mr. Barch. I don't know if you remember that guy. I don't think you had Mr. Barch.
He
was kind of
for art.
Oh,
he was
okay.
the art guy, right?
I had him. So if you didn't have him for art, you had him for like very remedial stuff. He was like my. I was taking like 8th grade history when I was a senior or something like that. He was doing one of those classes.
Okay, yeah, I think he would feel it. Oh my gosh. No, I had art with him. He would always wear eyeshadow, huh?
Yeah, everyone. See, it was a little ahead of its time, but everyone thought that there was something about that guy. Yeah.
There was something about him.
He always used to send me to RC too. I was not very well behaved around that part of my
didn't
life.
have a list though. He was very baritone.
Yeah, he was incognito. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Ugh.
Yeah. Mr. Barch. Oh my God.
All right, guys, we're at the 50-minute mark here. We usually do 60 minutes, right?
Yes. Yeah.
What was that last thing we want to talk about? So we talked about tariffs, talked about AI, talked about our sponsor. You know what? If y'all want to send us mail, send us some DMs, send us some comments. We'll read them. If there's topics you want us to cover, there's a music video that you want us to react to, send it. And at ATV, we will shy away from no story. We will turn over every rock, etc. And I think we got a big sponsor next episode.
We don't even have. I mean, I guess I could do it in the comments because they can't DM on YouTube.
Don't DM on you. Yeah.
In the old days, they could.
Just put in the. We'll put our email. We got our email on our channel. You can send it, and we get the mailbag going. Okay.
So
okay. Trent, do you want to end it at 52? Or should we throw one more segment?
One more segment.
Okay. Let's talk about something real then. The audience only likes real stuff. None of this frou-frou stuff, you know?
You know what I've
Should we make another movie poster?
Ooh, that'd be. We're supposed to do something creative every episode.
Yeah. Okay.
It's so hot in here.
Oh, let me share my screen. I'm going to share my entire screen. Okay. What is the movie poster we're making today?
I think it should be about a husband that I think it should be wait.
What about
It's about a husband. No, okay.
Okay, he's people at home. You are seeing the writer's room at work in real time. Be patient with my man.
I just thought of something very unique.
Okay, let's go.
It is about a guy. It's about a person who had an inappropriate relationship with his female geometry teacher.
Oh my!
Here's the catch.
I'm about to get flagged by ChatGPT.
Here's the catch, though. He is now a 49-year-old man, and she is 71. So it's not as inappropriate as you might think. However,
is that the tagline for the movie? It's not as inappropriate as you might think.
So he had an inappropriate relationship with his teacher, but now he's an adult and he's no longer out. Okay. Okay. She used to be his teacher, but now she's so old. He works in a retirement home and now he cares for her. So now it would have been inappropriate when he was younger. Now it seems inappropriate that she's too old. But it's not as inappropriate as you might think.
Oh, and has an inappropriate fling with his old. It's not. What is this movie called?
It's called.
Let me see. Hold on, wait. Before you give me a title, I want to see if Claude can outdo you with a title. Give me a title for a funny comedy that I am writing.
And you're not going to show it until I give mine, right?
Don't look at the screen.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll tell you when I have mine, and then we do a title off. You can't look.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
I like my title. I feel like it doesn't make a lot of sense, but I like it.
I have a title from Claude.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. So I give you mine now.
Or yeah, give me yours. Give me yours.
So it's teach me, hard.
Chad, this is not this. This is an adult film title.
But it's not as inappropriate as you might think.
Okay. Claude came up with acute attractions.
What?
And
wait, because of the geometry?
Right angles, wrong time, full circle romance, late lessons in love, parallel lives, intersecting hearts.
Right angles, wrong time is pretty good.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty good. Oh my God.
This is the subtitle. Okay, right angles, wrong time. Okay, boom. Now we're waiting. Let's hope that we are not flagged.
Is this the paid chat GPT? I always want to say GBT. It rolls off the tongue better. Is this the paid version?
Chat GD3, get it right? And this is the paid version. I believe the free version allows you to do this. They may have lowered your quota of how many of these you can do. I could do a lot of these image generations. I think you can only do like 3 on the free quota.
I've kind of messed with it before, and they never looked anywhere near as convenient or good as what you've been doing with these.
That's why it's big now. There was a big update that happened like a week ago or so.
Okay. I did this month ago.
People were like, what? And you don't want to see, like, they made Ghibli. Have you ever seen Studio Ghibli?
No.
Okay. They started making everything Studio Ghibli on Twitter, and they started going crazy with it. Let me see if I can.
What is Ghibli?
Ghibli, you know these Japanese cartoons right here?
They're called Ghibli?
Yeah.
That doesn't even sound Japanese. Ghibli.
Let me show you. Yeah, so see, they started doing Studio Ghibli versions of this.
Oh.
And they started doing. Then it started to get crazy, and the White House actually posted this.
Oh shoot! Oh
yeah.
I like that one with the guy turning around when he's with his girlfriend. Oh, there's the DiCaprio one. Okay, I get it. Okay.
Then they did the Twin Towers in Studio Ghibli style.
How did that look?
And
just two Chinese guys standing by each other, or what?
It's
like I don't get it. I mean, I get it. But
oh my God! Oh,
his face! Oh my gosh! Are they real people?
No, these are fake people.
Those are fake people.
Yeah, these are fake people.
Gosh. Okay. Can Chat GPT make trailers for these?
Yeah, it can.
Well, how long does that take?
Actually, I don't know if it actually. Hold on.
Oh,
let's see if I can. I got in video. So maybe I can upload this and.
Oh my gosh! I'm so excited.
Okay, let's see if we can make a film.
Oh my gosh! I'm excited.
Create a short using only stock media, only generated clips. Now, how can we do this? Hold on, Chen. Let's see if you see it in the menu here. I thought that there was something where I could upload a photo. Oh, text. photo to clip. Okay, let's upload the photo from my computer. We're gonna upload this. Okay. What do you want? Describe the scene.
Um, the the guy reminisces with his
How do you spell it?
yeah,
Okay.
with his ex teacher about when he was a young man. Period. They are now able to act out things of which they could not before. I don't know.
I'm
They
gonna do this. I'm gonna say the love they wanted before, and then I'm gonna generate the clip. Let's see what we get. Because you are an appropriate person. I mean, you are an
I
inappropriate
keep
person.
trying to reel it in.
No, you're not reeling it in. And working at those car things has changed you for the. Actually, you know what? They've cleaned you up. You were way worse than this before.
The problem is when I do content and when I edit, I could just take all this inappropriate stuff out, and right now it comes out like unfiltered. So
Oh, they're seeing the real side. All right, Chent, we got 30% of the clip ready. It's framing the clip. Are you ready?
this is making me want to just throw down some photos of me and Flacco, write the script, and make ChatGPT just make a whole movie for us.
Wait, should we throw photos of y'all in there and see what it does?
We should do a trailer like that.
We should. And I'm the first to say it. We should.
So I'm
Even
not
though
gonna,
you said it first, I feel like
even though I said it, you're the first to say it.
I'm the first to say it. Yeah.
Without telling anybody what it was. Okay, that the script I sent you last night, the first 3 pages.
Yes. Yeah.
You thought that was funny?
I liked it because it made me laugh.
Okay, so now I know you didn't think it's funny.
No, I was gonna say I want to say some lines from it. Can I say some lines from it? These people won't see it for 3 years. So like,
sure.
it's like reverse being blind or whatever.
I almost took that out. So that was funny.
No. That was good.
You know why I
That was
left
good.
that? There's
Why?
one reason why I left that in. I almost took it out because I was like, this is too stupid. I don't know if it's going to land the way I want it to. And the only reason I left it is because I remembered when you said, when I told that joke that I didn't even think was a joke when I was doing that concert about, has anyone ever had a job? And I was like, that was funny. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to bank on it and trust in it and leave it in that other people will think that's funny.
Bank on it.
Wow. So that one stood out to you.
The whole thing was funny. I feel like that one was one where I was like, whatever character said that, I was like, oh, this guy's an idiot.
Yeah, he's the same character that's like, hey, your food's gonna get cold. Like I wanted him to be kind of
yeah.
I thought that was a funny line. Your food's gonna get cold when he's like about to get in a fight. Like it's not worth it, bro. Your food's gonna get cold. But the card. So I thought that the card thing. I thought the only thing it had going for it and was going to be super funny was the. Did you watch the clip I sent you from Joker?
No, I actually wanted to ask if I watch that, is it ruining the movie? And even if it does ruin the movie, should I just watch it and then watch the movie later?
Oh, you mean it doesn't ruin Joker?
Yeah.
No, not at all. So
okay.
So what I basically did was parody something from that. And I thought that was all it had going for it. That when you read it, you'd be like, I get it. It's from that movie. So the fact that you thought that was funny without even knowing that was huge for me because I thought that was all it had going for it. So you thought that card part was humorous as well? Or you didn't really care for that part?
No, I like the card part. And I thought it was like, because I feel like I've seen that before where like, hey, I am blind, so forgive me if I
guess
like
I hadn't. Okay. Well, that's good that it's kind of out there in the ethos. This is taking longer than I thought.
Yeah, I know. 50% of the clip
I'd expect more from demons. Doesn't it translate to like intelligent beings or something like that? It does. I can't remember what language it was.
There is this guy. Actually, you should check out the show, Jimmy Akin's Mysterious World. For anyone who loves like mystery type stuff, forbidden knowledge, aliens, demons, Egypt, ghosts, near-death experience, all that stuff. Jimmy Akin does the best breakdowns because, Chen, that show actually gives you answers for every show, and like it's the best show. And one of the things they always say on the show is like people are always like, well, it's the it's not like
It's what?
basically everything like it. Think about it: credit cards, one world government, AI, cryptocurrency, all this other. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it is. You got to read Screw Tape Letters. I mean, it is. It's funny, but it also is because it's all influence. It's all. I've said this for years. It's all weaning. It's all little by little, these baby steps getting us further and further along. We don't think this little thing is a big deal, and the next thing, and the next, and then all of a sudden, it's like, what the heck? We have a chip up our butts, and we don't even need phones anymore, and all we have to do is think of a thing, and Google already gives us an answer to our brain. It's like, by the time we know it, we're there. It's like, how did this happen? How did this happen? I used to have to stand on a cord in my kitchen, and I'd hear my brother breathing heavy when I was talking to my friends or whatever, and now I have this in my pocket. And it's like just the next day, what the heck? And we just take that for granted, like it's a weaning. We used to have to count our coins and our paper and stuff, and now we're with the card.
I feel like there's two things happening here
People
at the same
laugh
time.
at me. People in their early 20s laugh when I swipe. They're like, "Bro, just tap it," and I'm like, "What?" It's I hate when they do that. I'm like, "No, I like swiping. I'm not gonna tap it. It has different capabilities. I'm not gonna tap it."
Jen, are you seeing this?
Ooh. Oh, they look so happy. Wait, that was it?
Well, we only set it to generate 5 seconds, so we would have to generate more. And I don't know why it did this widescreen instead of the tall that we had. Or I think we fed it a poster, so I think it's only generating wide like movie ones now. Well,
They
appropriate for a movie.
Are so happy.
They honestly look. Chet, Miss Hardcastle's still alive, so. Wait, don't quote me on that. I actually don't know if that's true.
Did you ever walk past her? Like, I don't think she ever drove. Did you ever walk past her after school? She would walk home like with her wheelie backpack. It was like a thing. I'd always walk past. You know how it's weird seeing your teacher outside of school?
Right.
I would you know how like off campus right there, right next to all the shrubbery by the football field is like that sidewalk where you could just walk down like that main whatever street. She would just always be walking down that road, down that street with her carrying like her rolling backpack, and it was the weirdest. Like, do I look at her? Do I say hi? Is she gonna be mean? Do I act like she's a human? I don't know what to do. It was always so weird.
Wow.
There was some tension there. Shoot.
There definitely was.
The one that got away.
I mean, there's different kinds of tension, Chen.
That's true.
There's the John Jones DC. There's
That's true. Yeah. I think Miss Hardcastle started my spiral of ditching and my rebellion against the education system, because I remember she said pretty early on in the year something along the lines of, if you do not read the Iliad or the Odyssey, you're not gonna pass this class. And I remember like when she finished her sentence, I was like, I'm not gonna pass the class. Like, it was so matter of fact. I was like, wow, she just sealed my fate. Like, I'm not gonna read it. And then I just started like staying home and playing Vice City.
I'm missing out on the greatest art from the ancient world.
And it's ironic because now I really want to read that book.
Yeah. See?
Shoot.
And you could have grown up with it. You could have grown up with these characters. You know what's funny is I hear Victor Davis Hanson, who's from Kingsburg, or Selma, I always forget. He is like, he's a big intellectual, and he used to teach at Fresno State. I think he does some courses at Hillsdale. college now, and he used to teach the classics and stuff. And I really like how he said it because he was like, when kids read this thing, he's like, they now know all these different characters and all these different circumstances. And he was like, there was this kid who was at Fresno State, and he was a football player, and he was good, but people couldn't control him, and he couldn't get along with people, and there was this tension there. And I was like, I forget what the kid's name was, but Victor Davis Hanson was talking, and he was like, and I told him, and I sat down, I was like, Max, you're Ajax. Do you not see that? And it's Ajax is one of the characters in the Iliad, one of the fighters. But I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, it gives you like this way to like really see different situations, and like for kids, it's like, oh wait, I'm that character. Like, it's kind of like when you watch a show and you're like, no, I'm Larry David. Like, oh shoot, like that's me, and like in these situations and stuff like that.
So you're trying to emphasize how very much I missed out on life by not reading this book.
Yeah. Very enriching. Very enriching. And if you've ever sat alone looking up at the ceiling and felt like there was that missing piece, just remember the Bible and the Iliad, and you're ignoring them both.
And that's another episode.
And that is another episode of ATV Season 5. We'll see you next time. Good day. Suck it.